Welcome to 2020, everyone. I am so excited to dive into this year. I have a lot planned for 2020. I don't know about certain new movies. I don't know if I'm going to be reviewing a lot of new releases. I'll review some big new releases here and there that come out in 2020, mainly because I have something very special planned that I've always wanted to do on my YouTube channel, and I'll explain what it is after this review. This game review, actually. I'm not going to do a movie review. I'm doing game reviews. Technically, the reason is because the release for the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie will be releasing on Valentine's Day next month. And for that reason, I'm going to be talking about Sonic stuff. Some Sonic things on my channel. And in particular video, I'm going to be reviewing some Sonic games that I really, really love. In particular, the old ones. I'm going to focus mainly on the old ones, or just Sonic games that I personally grew up with. And after that, I'm going to be reviewing Sonic X, which is my favorite Sonic animated series. So technically in this game review video, I'm going to be reviewing 4 video games in one video. So let's start talking about our first video game. The game that started it all, Sonic the Hedgehog, that came out in 1991. Before I start getting into this review, I just want to say I love Sonic. My obsession of Sonic is huge. It doesn't really seem like it to most people, but when I was a little kid, my first 2 video game heroes were always Mario and Sonic, and they still are. I find them to be the #1 allies in video games. Mario and Sonic just always had me in the mood. They had a lot of great things in their franchises. And aside from Mario, Sonic has been an enormous chunk of my childhood. I've played Sonic, I've watched Sonic. I even had some Sonic merchandise when I was young. I had some t-shirts, I had some action figures. That's how much I loved Sonic the Hedgehog. He was a huge part of my childhood. So reviewing these video games are actually a very important thing to me. So I'm going to be talking about the main 4 Sonic video games that came out back in the 90s. First, let's start with Sonic the Hedgehog that came out in 1991. This was a game that came out of nowhere back in the 90s, and even though I wasn't around, I could see how this game actually became impactful. Today, personally playing this game, it's a very fun game. I'd have to say it's very challenging. It's the game that introduced us into what is currently known as one of the most popular video game characters of all time, and it has a fair gameplay value. There are times where this game does feel dated, and sometimes where this game feels like it's kind of cheating the players. Like, for example, in the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, when it comes to the Chaos Emeralds and stuff like that, there are around 7 Chaos Emeralds. In the first Sonic the Hedgehog game, there are only 6, which means we never get to see Sonic's forms like Super Sonic. And I think that's one of the most disappointing things about the game. And another disappointing thing about the game is the game only has 6 worlds, and I think the game could have been much bigger and more challenging. And I felt like it was just a really big missed opportunity for Sega. I'm not kidding when I say this. I recently played the first Sonic the Hedgehog game. I can't even get past 4 worlds. This game is stupid hard sometimes, and I mean stupid hard. Like, for example, the Marble Zone levels, I think that's what it's called, which are the second levels of the Sonic the Hedgehog, which is the second world of the Sonic the Hedgehog game. And each world has like 3 acts. That world is stupid hard. And I mean stupid hard. It looks easy, but it isn't. And I actually do give props to Sega for that. Even though I do consider this game a really fun experience, and even though it doesn't kind of hold up as well, it is not the best Sonic game. I'd say it's definitely one of the better ones compared to Sonic games that we have released today, like Sonic Forces or Sonic Boom: Rise of Lyric. Like, let's be honest, most of the new generation Sonic games, they're either mediocre or they're not that good. But the original Sonic the Hedgehog game will always be, and has always been, better than any of our modern day Sonic games. But it's definitely not the best. What I usually do with video games, I rate them from numbers from 0 to 10. And movies, I do my A+ to F grading. So what I'm gonna do with this is I'm just gonna do with numbers since I'm reviewing a game. I'm gonna give the original Sonic the Hedgehog an 8.5 out of 10. Like I said, it's a fun game. It kind of holds up as well. It doesn't fully hold up as well, honestly. And I honestly think the game could have been a lot more longer and challenging, and a little more accurate to the modern Sonic franchise in regards to like the Chaos Emeralds and stuff like that. But all in all, it's a really fun game. Now let me get to the next game, which is Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which came out literally a year after the first game. So Sonic the Hedgehog back in 1991 was a huge hit, so it's obvious that they were going to make a sequel. And this was such a big improvement from the first Sonic game. This one is even more challenging than the first. It introduced new characters like Tails and stuff like that. And it has the same formula as the first game. And the soundtrack of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is something that you'll listen to over and over and over and over again. And it's just something that really gets engraved into your head. Like, for example, Aquatic Ruins, Mystic Cave Zone. Those soundtracks are so amazing. Chemical Plant. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is filled with so many memorable soundtracks. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is also filled with some amazing replay value. This game also really does have some promising delivering for speedrunners, for gamers who love to speedrun. Yes, I know about speedrunning, even though I'm not really a speedrunner myself. I've seen people do speedruns, and honestly, they're kind of hard to get a hold of. You actually have to like practice doing it, but Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is definitely one of those games for speedrunners. It's not an easy game to get past too, because I think this game might be even more challenging than the first Sonic game. And I'd say really my only complaint with this game is that sometimes it hits you, like literally hits you, and sometimes it's a little unfair. There are certain things that you will not see coming, like you're running too fast in a course, and then all of a sudden you run into an enemy, and then it makes you lose all your rings, or it kills you instantly. And some of the levels are way too short, and some of the levels are way too long. I'd say that's really my only problem with the game itself. But other than that, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is a really great game. It's definitely one of my favorite Sonic games, and it's one of the best. And compared to the first Sonic game, I'm going to rate this one 10 points higher, if I'm going to be brutally honest. I really do think this game is that good. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 gets a 9.5 out of 10. A solid grade. Yeah, I really do think this is one of the best Sonic games. It outnumbers definitely nearly all of the modern Sonic games, that's for sure. Sorry, I had to burp a little bit in my mouth. TMI. But anyway, it outnumbers most of the modern Sonic games, in my opinion at least. Now we're going to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Or Sonic and Knuckles, whatever you want to call it. Which was released in 1994 or 3, I believe? One, I think it was 4. And it introduced a new character, Knuckles. The title Sonic and Knuckles, obviously. It has the same formula. Really interesting game, honestly. The animation style is a little different, and that's what I really loved about it. The soundtrack is really catchy, too. Fun fact, Michael Jackson actually helped out on working on the soundtrack for this game. You guys don't believe me? Look it up for yourself. You want to know the worst thing? Sega didn't credit Michael Jackson for this music. But it was interesting seeing characters like Knuckles being brought into the franchise and to see what he has become over the years. Because Knuckles is a really interesting character in the Sonic franchise. I wouldn't say he's my favorite. He definitely isn't, but he's really interesting. And in this game, he starts off as an enemy towards Sonic and Tails. You see that he's been manipulated by Eggman, that Sonic is the real bad guy, and that's not really the case. Later on, Knuckles realizes that Eggman's the villain. He's like, okay, then I gotta switch be on sides with this Hedgehog or something like that. The game really does have a lot of fun levels. It's actually pretty challenging too. Same with the last game. Some of the levels are way too short and long. The soundtrack is really catchy. It's a promising game for speedrunners, but I'd honestly say that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 would be a way better, more fit if you want to focus on the speedrunning topic. And the bosses are quite interesting. Even the final boss is really interesting. The final boss where you actually finally get to turn into Super Sonic. And that's honestly the best part of the entire game. Finally seeing Super Sonic on screen. And it's not really just in the final boss, but throughout the game, I'm pretty sure you can turn into Super Sonic. And just like the other two Sonic games, the lighting and the colors that are in Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and the animation is absolutely mind-blowing. There are a lot of things that this game definitely has going for it. And I would say this game is honestly nearly as fun as Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Sonic the Hedgehog 1, I don't think competes to both any of the sequels, any of the two sequels, but like I said, it's still a fun game. Sonic the Hedgehog 3, aka Sonic and Knuckles, though, it's very fun. It's really freaking fun. Honestly, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10, if I'm gonna be brutally honest. Now, let's talk about the last video game on this list. Be aware, I saved this game review for the last because this is my favorite in this entire review. Not just my favorite Sonic game in this review. This game is literally my favorite Sonic game of all time. And ever since I have been living, I have never been able to play a Sonic game that has been better than this game. I'm talking about Sonic CD. This game is mind-blowing from the moment you first start playing it, from the moment you finish it. This game has many things going for it. It just throws you into a brand new experience. And when you first play it, it doesn't even feel like a Sonic game. It has futuristic elements. It has a lot of technology elements. It introduces a various amount of characters like Amy Rose, Metal Sonic, and the replay value and speedrunning abilities that many people can do in this game. Sonic games just don't get better than this, and they never will in my opinion. And if I'm going to be brutally honest, this is a perfect game in my opinion. I do not have a single flaw with Sonic CD. I really do think it is one of the few perfect video games of Sega. I absolutely love this game. It's very fun to play. The levels are absolutely gorgeous. The music is really well done too. And at least the Japanese version is. There are two versions of Sonic CD. This is one thing that's always bugged me about Sonic CD 2. And it's not really a flaw or even a nitpick, but it's something that's really just bothered me. In the Japanese version of Sonic CD, there's always some exciting and thrilling music. In the American version, however, the music is just sinister and dark for literally no reason. And like I said, it's not even a flaw or a nitpick. It's just something that's bothered me. That's why I mainly play the Japanese version of Sonic CD, because the music is what makes the experience much better. And when I play the American version, it just makes me feel a little uncomfortable, honestly. Mainly because of the music. So yeah, if I'd recommend this game, play the Japanese version of Sonic CD. You're gonna have a blast. I cannot end this review without talking about Metal Sonic. Sega has created a legendary villain. I am serious. If I could pick any favorite villain in the Sonic franchise, it's not Dr. Eggman. It's not even Shadow the Hedgehog. I wouldn't even consider Shadow the Hedgehog a villain. He's more of an anti-hero if you really think about it. Metal Sonic tops everyone in the villains category. This thing, knowing that it has all of the same mindsets and DNA that Sonic has, and what it can do to him, it's amazing. It's better that this thing can't even talk. And I can see that this character has become so big. I can see how this character has become so big. Even if he wasn't as big back then. Because I'm pretty sure Metal Sonic only appears in the video game Sonic CD for like 2 to 5 minutes. But it's amazing how impactful this character has become in the franchise. And how iconic he's become. Metal Sonic is freaking awesome. I said it once and I'm going to say it again. Sonic CD is a perfect game in my opinion. In every way. I am iffy on the American soundtrack when it comes to the American version of Sonic CD. But if you're gonna play Sonic CD, you have to check out the Japanese version. You will have a blast. Sonic CD for sure gets the perfect 10. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. Look forward to more reviews and some more content that I'll be doing on my channel. What I really want you to look forward to is February, because I'm going to be doing something that I wanted to do on my channel ever since I started doing movie reviews. I'm going to be talking about Walt Disney movies, but not just random Walt Disney movies. I'm going to be talking about Walt Disney movies from the 2D animation era. This means that I'm going to start reviewing Walt Disney movies from the very top all the way to the bottom. That means I'm going to review Snow White, which was the very first Disney movie ever produced, all the way down to the last 2D Walt Disney animated film produced, which was The Princess and the Frog. So I'm going to be reviewing over 30 movies on my channel, and this is going to be kind of a long-running series. It's going to be kind of a long-running series that you guys are going to be seeing monthly. Or it really depends on how fast I can get these reviews up. But yeah, I'm really excited to do this series of review because I wanted to talk about a lot of Disney movies for a very long time, and I actually finally have the opportunity to do it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this game review of Sonic the Hedgehog. Of my Sonic the Hedgehog games. The first 4 Sonic the Hedgehog games. Next, I'm going to be reviewing Sonic the Hedgehog OVA, which is also known as the Sonic the Hedgehog movie that came out in 1996 in Japan and came out in 1999 in America. I uploaded a movie on it on my channel. I think it was a 30 subscriber special way back when I started my YouTube channel in 2016. I uploaded the movie, Sonic the Hedgehog OVA, so if you haven't seen it, you can check it out. But I'm going to be reviewing it next, and then after that, I'm going to be talking about Sonic X. I can't wait to cover those reviews up. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this game review. You guys are the best. Love every single one of you. And look forward to more reviews that'll be coming very soon. And as always, I am Mario... not Mario Fan 520. I am so blown out. If you guys remember, my channel... I cannot believe I just did that. I haven't uploaded in weeks, and I already forgot my YouTube channel name. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are the best. Love every single one of you. Look forward to more reviews that will be coming very soon. And as always, if you're new here and you like what you see here, why not hit that subscribe button to join the EliB/520 community? Much better. And I will see you next time. Peace out.